Radhe Radhe everyone. So this video is about my Bhagavad Mahapuran and Bhagavad Gita sessions which are taking place every week. Thanks to JK Yog and Swami Mukundanand ji. I have been so grateful to Swami ji for having asked me to lead the sessions on Bhagavad Gita and on Bhagawat Mahapuran. So the Bhagavad Gita sessions take place every Wednesday and every Thursday, Singapore time at 8 p.m. And the Bhagawat Mahapuran sessions take place every Saturday and every Sunday, Singapore time at 10 a.m. So because these timings are synchronized with US, from where the participants are there in great number. So just to repeat, Bhagawat Mahapuran sessions every Saturday and every Sunday, 10 a.m. Singapore time or Malaysia time, which is 9 p.m. I guess in US. So it is evening time in US and morning time in Singapore in Malaysia. So what are we doing in the Bhagavad Gita sessions? Okay, currently we are studying the chapter 2, which is the Karma Yoga. Now Karma Yoga, the yoga of action, is such a fascinating chapter in Bhagavad Gita. So we are really going into great depth of the Karma Yoga. What is Karma Yoga? You know, we all know that very famous shloka, कर्मण्यवादिका रस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्म फले तुर्भु माते संगो अस्तो कर्मणि, in Bhagavad Gita, the second chapter, I guess 243. But we don't get the full appreciation of this shloka until we read it from an authority such as Sri Maharaj Ji and his prominent preacher Swami Mukundanand ji. So thanks to Swami Mukundanand ji's translation and commentary of the Bhagavad Gita, we are relishing the knowledge of Karma Yoga. So if you do join to understand Karma Yoga, please dial in to the Zoom. The Zoom code is available. If you just do Google, you will come to know about this Bhagavad Gita sessions, which is organized by JK Yog US. So just Google JK Yog US, you will get the links and how to join us on the Zoom. And then a little about the Bhagawat Mahapurans. So Bhagavad Gita is the conversation between Sri Krishna and Arjun. Arjun has represented the humanity and has raised all the questions that arise in our mind, and Sri Krishna has given an answer. So Bhagavad Gita is what the Lord has spoken, about the life. That is why they say Bhagavad Gita is like a manual for the life. So it has 700 shlokas, so it's very small, but it is so amazing that in a little 700 set of verses, Sri Krishna has packed all the information. For example, Sri Krishna talks about food, that food is categorized as sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. And if you eat sattvic food, you enhance your life, you become happy, you become contented, you feel good. And when you eat rajasic food, you get grief and disease and lamentation. And tamasic food is obviously not a food which anyone will relish with any taste of Bhagavad Gita. So we should eat sattvic food, but what is sattvic food? Sri Krishna defines the food that is juicy, the food that is succulent, the food that is organic, fresh. It gives us the contentment, the satisfaction. So all these we will learn in these Bhagavad Gita sessions, practical implementation of Bhagavad Gita techniques through this reading of Karma Yoga, and soon we will finish Karma Yoga and we will move into another chapter. But the Bhagavad Mahapuran is the story of God. Bhagavad Mahapuran is one of the 18 Puranas. Veda Vyas has composed it. And Bhagavad Mahapuran has 18,000 shlokas. Bhagavad Gita has only 700 verses. Bhagavad Mahapuran has 18,000 shlokas. And Bhagavad Mahapuran has 12 cantos, 12 askand. And there are 335 chapters. So in the 335 chapters, we read about all the fascinating stories of God. How God creates this universe, how God maintains this universe, how God dissolves this universe, and how God himself descends in the uniform in this universe in the form of God, or in the form of a guru, or in the form of a devotee, or how God sends his associates, who are the prophets and the messengers and the gurus and the Mahapurush. So Bhagavad Mahapuran is a fascinating story about Krishna, Ram, Buddha, all the different avatars of God, Vara, Meen, Kachap, who is Lord Vishnu, who is Lord Shiva, who is Lord Ganesha. Every knowledge you get from Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, and Bhagavad Mahapuran is considered to be the most exalted summary of the entire Vedic knowledge. So please do join us for the Bhagavad Mahapuran sessions every Saturday and every Sunday. I am myself astounded that in the Zoom session sometimes there are 150 people also. When we began, we have at least 100 people in every session, and the number is growing. And it is an international event, so people from all over the world are participating. And we have a segment in the Bhagavad Mahapuran session and the Bhagavad Gita sessions where we interact with the audience. So we invite others to share their thoughts, their comments, and if there is some doubts which we can resolve based on the teachings of Sri Maharaji and Swami Mukundanand ji, we do that. We share lots of nuggets of spiritual wisdom. We share lots of stories from the spiritual realm. And they say Bhagavad Mahapuran is such a potent scripture that it removes all the troubles of our heart. And reading just a few shlokas from Bhagavad Mahapuran, is considered a spiritual high. So much to talk about Bhagavad Mahapuran and Bhagavad Gita. Suffice it to say, we are reading two most important scriptures from the Vedic literature. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 700 verses, conversation between Arjuna and Sri Krishna, also called the Song of God, the largest selling book in the world, and Bhagavad Mahapuran, which is advanced learning of the spiritual science, but so amazing that it is compared to the Kalpavriksha, the desire-fulfilling tree, which the Vedas have assumed the form of a desire-fulfilling tree. And Bhagavad Mahapuran is like the ripened fruit, the naturally ripened fruit on this Kalpavriksha. And who has tasted this fruit? The Leela Shuk, the divine parrot. And that divine parrot has taken the form of Shukdev Maharaj, Shukdev Goswami. And Shukdev Goswami narrates the Bhagavad Mahapuran, and Parikshit ji is receiving this knowledge. So let us also partake of the Bhagavad Mahapuran and the Bhagavad Gita knowledge. And I invite all of you to come and join these sessions on Zoom. You can just Google Bhagavad Mahapuran, JK Yog, and you will get all the details. Otherwise, you can get in touch with me or anyone else. Radhe Radhe. Thank you. Take care.